Alright guys, we are back with BMW, and alright, so this is going to be day 5 of the Coca-Cola OSL. And how are you doing today, brother?
Good, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back to casting. You know, even the it's been a while. It's been a while since we both casted, and the fact is, I think it's been about 4 days since I've last casted the Coca-Cola OSL as well, because we've been doing them in these long nights, so I haven't been getting it. I've been casting this in a while, so it's gonna be glad to be back.
Yeah, hell yeah. Miracle got the day off, so hopefully I can Miracle get another day off to do some more casting. Just seemed to work out. My bosses didn't want me to come into work today, so hopefully the viewers get some enjoyment out of today's cast.
Oh yeah. And let's see here. So it's gonna be Boxer to start things off. It's gonna be Boxer versus Sindoki tonight. Let's see what else we have here. Because my awesome OP that somehow got really formatted, like, to death. I don't know really what happened to it, but we're here now. And so tonight, if we end up doing day 5 completely, which I couldn't see why we can't do it tonight unless BMW has to go, it's going to be Sindoki versus Boxer, Yellow versus Reach, Sync versus Sigamari, Into the Rain versus Marine. And if we're still going strong, we may continue going on from there if we're going strong, but otherwise expect day 5 to be completed, maybe or is this day 4? Day 5.
Day 5.
Okay, and then day 6. For whatever reason, day 6. Yeah, my whole OP is off. But yeah, Sindoki versus Boxer. Has Sindoki played another Terran? I know Sindoki. I don't know. That was Jinam Sindoki. Okay. When was the last time we saw Sindoki played?
We saw him play Go Rush.
Sindoki, and then he won as an upset. Yeah. All right. So this guy can perform well. He also beat. Okay, so actually, Sindoki. Hold on, maybe I got that wrong. Hold on. Sindoki. Yeah, it's weird. We've only seen Sindoki in ZVZs from day 2 and day 3. Him versus Go Rush, and him versus Enough. Enough won his ZVZ on day 2. So we'll see how this really stacks up, as we haven't seen his TVZ. Now for Boxer, all we've seen is TVZ, and that's pretty much because that's the only matchup he's going to be playing in the round of 16, because his whole group is Zergs. And he's won both, so he's done a lot of just one-base builds. He's gone he's gone Vulture openings, and then he's gone into just like 3 racks, like, you know, like 50 Marines, medics, timing push, and just dominates his opponent. I mean, Boxer really hasn't a lot of issues, and I don't really think... I think it would be an upset for Sindoki to beat Boxer, if anything.
Yeah, he was pretty much high-fiving everybody when the groups came out. He was just like, ho-ho, TVZ. He just went around high-fiving all the announcers, just like, shit, I don't even have to do anything. I'm already the best in the world at this matchup. I'm just going to go, you know, fucking out drinking or something. That's probably what he did. He probably didn't even need to prepare for these matches.
Yeah, I mean, he only has... Well, the other players have to do ZVZ and ZVT. All he has to work on is TVZ. So, it's actually... I don't actually know how... It must have been just random that he ended up getting was 3 Zergs, and... I mean...
I imagine he was probably just like, alright, just give me a big box of Coca-Cola and I'll sit back and watch the other players just own each other up while I take this group.
Yeah, I mean, he actually, it's like a buy to some degree of how, because it gives him an advantage because he only has to, you know, prep for 1 match. So with that, his round 16 group is going to be very easy. And I believe that will be Sindoki, yeah. He is 19 years old, or 18. He'll be 18.
Korean age, he's 19, so he would have been 17 in American age at the time.
Oh, they go by 2 years? They do a gap of 2 years? I thought it was 1 year.
2 years, yeah. You're born with 1 year. I think your first year you're born, and then you get an extra year. So boxer would have been 20 at the time.
Yeah.
Lim Yo Hwan.
Oh man. Alright, boxer. You better perform well tonight, or else I would feel absolutely terrible. Alright. So boxer, I mean, oh wow, BMW. Who are you rooting for? Who are you predicting today?
I'm thinking boxer's gonna 3-0 his group right now. But you know what? The last time I voted against Sindoki, I was all high on Go Rush. I was like, this fool's gonna get owned, this noob. You know, Go Rush was gonna punk this guy, and Sindoki just straight came out with mutas and crushed my hero Go Rush. So I really don't want to make a prediction against Sindoki. It somehow just smacks me in the face every time I do.
Okay.
So I think you better make the prediction.
Well, I would go with boxer. Yeah, I would say boxer's gonna 3-0. Again, just from how lucky he's gotten with his group, his TVZ is good, and I mean he's boxer as well for just reason number 3.
Yeah, he's boxer.
So, I mean, just with that, it's I think it's just a strong enough argument by itself. But Neo Legacy of Char, you know, I don't know. Taking a third base for Zerg is going to be very interesting. So I wouldn't be surprised with like 3-hatch Meta, maybe, if we see standard play, or that's what I'm trying to think. Actually, you know what? We might see Hydralisks. I don't really think metas were really that used. When the more I think about it, yeah, I'm back now. It was more just Hydra oriented, Hydra Ling. Of how odd a composition that sounds, and lurkers, of course. But we'll have to find out, because this is like the only map that actually has like a semi-tangible, you know, quick natural. I mean, it's still a huge choke point, but it's a choke point that is a choke point. I mean, every other map is just open.
I was gonna say something. Did these 3 guys, like, are they colorblind? Are you seeing the shirts they're wearing? Jesus, like they went to the dollar bin at Walmart and like picked out these shirts. Awful.
Yeah, I mean, you go from back. It's funny because if you go back, if you go all the way back to this, and then you go down to like the GSL or the modern StarCraft 2 tournaments, the casters are all in these spiffy looking tuxedos, and then you have the players now wearing their own their team uniforms, and now you have these guys dressed up as space marines. I mean, like,
yeah,
the StarCraft culture has changed quite a bit.
And if you actually look at Sindoki, he has definitely done some practice time. His eyes are all looking really bagged up, so he's definitely been putting in the hours. And Boxer looks like he just came out of the sauna.
Yeah, Boxer does not really look intimidated whatsoever.
Yeah, he looks non-stressed at all. Sindoki looks exacerbated right now.
Even Boxer spams. Look at him go. Alright, TVZ. Neo Legacy of Char. Let's do this, people. Alright, so spawning in the top left-hand corner on Neo Legacy of Char will be the Brown Zerg Sindoki. And in the bottom right-hand position, it will be the Blue Terran Boxer.
Yeah, and so this is like a 4-player map where all 4 of the bases are really close to each other, but it's very hard to get to your opponent's base. It's like a windy road to get there.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, which I would even strengthen. I mean, drop play could work on the mineral line, or even Mutalisks, but I don't know if Mutalisk would ever be even thought of in this matchup at this point. What is Boxer blue? Boxer's blue. And who's our Zerg player again? Sindoki.
Sindoki.
Sindoki will be Zerg. and he will be brown. Or we'll just make him... What color do we make brown? Purple or black?
You make it red, whatever.
Yeah, so Sindoki will just be black. And we get the Windows 98 draw.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, he's drawing a football play or something. Yeah, so this is like I was talking about, the very odd pathing to get to your opponent. You know, and as a Terran, he might be able to just close off that top gap, you know. But also a Zerg could proxy hatch. I mean, there's a lot of shit you can do on this map. It's very interesting. And your expansions are very, like, one is very close, but the other is in a very bad choke point for the Terran and the Zerg.
Yeah.
And now he's just doing tic-tac-toe on the map here. He's drawing like Hangman.
This is where it would be a lot easier if we spoke Korean and figure what they were saying. Alright, so what was that, like a 12 hatch? Yeah, so Sindoki's playing a little bit more greedy, I guess you could say. And this map would call for it. I think the current map pool with like every map that's on here, every other map besides this map, I think you would just want to overpool on. Just because there's really no way to defend a really far, like on like Ragnarok. Do you remember Ragnarok BMW?
Yeah. I just can't remember the map and I can't picture it in my mind. I do remember it, I just can't picture it.
Oh, it's like, so pretty much you're on the high ground like a huge main, but then you have to go like it's right directly south or north of your base, but you have to like go all the way around the base and then come all the way around on the low ground. So there's really no way to like quickly defend it. And
is that the blue map? The blue map? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You can always look it up as well. Alright, so good intimidating face from Boxer right there. And maybe some kind of 2 hatch play. Could be Lings, I mean it could be Mutas, could be Lurkers. I would say this is the best map to go Mutas on, but I wouldn't know what to argue.
Boxer has the best micro in the world at this point. So, and he cancels the factory. Very interesting choice. Right after he sniped the drone. Did you see that?
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna go for like a 2-fact. He may even just do a bio switch.
Yeah, I don't understand. He just.
Yeah, maybe a fake build.
Canceled it. Yeah, he definitely fake doubling. Maybe he's fake double raxing or.
Yeah, except that's just weird. Why you would do 2-fact against Zerg?
Yeah,
Sindoki, no, he's getting an armory.
Yeah, Sindoki wants to find out really quick now what's going on. That was very interesting.
Wow. An armory, and I mean, it looks like he's gonna be doing the Goliath play. Is that another? What's he building right there? Is that another?
I think that's another factory.
No, it's a barracks.
Oh, barracks. Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Is he gonna go? Is he gonna go Goliath like bio?
Yeah, I'm totally thrown off by. He really faked out Sindoki right there. So Sindoki, who is going up to 2-hatch Muta, I believe, he's gonna have the advantage right now because Boxer's not gonna have as many units out necessarily.
Yeah, it will be 2-hatch Mutas on the way. But the other thing though is like what Boxer's doing might just be enough to hard counter a 2-hatch. I mean, the vulture. Yeah, the vulture goes down right after that. Oh.
That was not impressive by Boxer. Boxer known for his good micro right there. Just totally throws away his vulture. He could have very easily sent an SCV if his plan was just to scout what the Zerg was doing. That was a wasted opportunity right there. And with such critical unit count right now, that was a blunder. Sindoki looking like a NASCAR driver.
Now, do you think with the tech switch, the fake double factory, do you think Boxer will have enough to defend a 2-hatch Muta push?
Yeah, he's getting out enough Marines and Goliaths right now. He's going to own up a Muta push. Sindoki's going to be in a world of hurt. And at the time, remember, our viewers probably don't know this, but they didn't have Muta Micro back then. They didn't know about you can form up your Mutas and like July Zerg. July Zerg actually invented that. So that didn't come around until about 2003, 2004-ish. So
Okay.
you're going to see Sindoki just flying in with a group of mutas, not necessarily formed up with the function, you know? See how
Yeah.
he puts them close to each other and they just kind of float away?
Yeah.
So that's actually better for the Goliath, because a Goliath can actually just spray multiple targets at once, whereas if you had the group, you know, it's a lot harder to target down one muta when they're formed up.
Yeah. It's like it's just like in between of what other. Yeah, I like this build. I like this build. Already has a bunker in position. I mean, he's not even getting turrets.
Yeah, he feels very comfortable with Goliaths right now.
Wow.
He has the bunker and then the Goliaths running around, so he has mobile turrets right now. And he actually dropped a second bunker. Very interesting. And as you can see, Fitz, he's able to just spray multiple Goliaths at once.
Yeah, he started firing. He started firing, yeah. And beautiful defense by Boxer. Sindoki just losing too many mutalists there. And really, this two-hatch mutalist has done really nothing to really start this game off.
Yeah, Sindoki's got to be really worried right now. I think he lost about 6 mutalists on that exchange, and he's actually dropping another hatchery.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know how it actually affects, you know, the matchup, but traditionally a two-hatch meta is an all-in. I mean, in nowadays, but would it still be considered an all-in at this point? Because generally Terran would be off a 2 base, but obviously in order to probably defend a 2-hatch meta, you know, Box has been off of 1 base this entire time. But would it be considered an all-in because maybe Terran doesn't always FE on Terran versus third? You know? Where the counter push may be less strong because the economy isn't as strong. I always thought about that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was your headphones or your microphone, but I just heard a lot of static. So. He's actually making a Hydralisk transition, it looks like right now, Fitz. So he's going to Muta Hydra to counteract the Goliaths.
Yeah. I think Boxer's just gonna go transition to Bionic or Biomech. I think he's just gonna go Marine Tank. I don't think this lot. Because I think he's just set himself up nicely for that transition with the factory and the 2 barracks, and he's getting +1.
Fitz, can you please explain to the viewers what we're actually watching right now?
We're watching the Chinese OSL. Oh God, why? Now the Coca-Cola. I'm so used to that. Coca-Cola OSL. I'm just rebroadcasting the Coca-Cola OSL from 2001. It's not new. This is Korean Brood Wars doesn't exist anymore. With that being said, I'm kind of just going back and rewatching a whole lot of VODs. At the same time, casting them just to get a bit more of an understanding of the game. You know, have an entertaining time with co-casters when I do it. And I mean something in like a more, you know, weekly, daily fashion Brood War cast where, as some foreign tournaments aren't as, generally players don't get their replays in during the middle of the week. They generally get it at the end of the week towards the weekend, or on the weekend. So there isn't a lot of casting in between. So that's why we're casting this.
So we're really watching Boxer, who is actually making the depots into a semi sort of like fort. He's trying to like wall off from the middle patch down, as you can see, Fitz. I think he's actually trying to make like a horseshoe around his base, and then he's putting tanks on the inside. Really interesting play by Boxer right there. 있다는 것도 임현 선수 알거든요, 지금. 그렇죠, 예. 앞마당 이외에 어딘가 멀티를 했겠구나 정도는 임현 선수가 예측을 할 거예요.
Do we have a third base being established for Sindoki right now? Okay, and zoom in on the chicks. All that important. Yeah, well, actually, Sindoki's actually taking a third base right now. Sindoki's taking a third base. At least I think he is. And we have a drop coming in. I don't know how effective it will be with... Oh, that's sneaky. I didn't even see the 12 coming up. Alright, so the 12 is being established, but will it be... will it work? I also want to still acknowledge the fact that there will be, like, I mean, Boxer's thing is going to hit a super strong timing soon, where he is going to power up a lot of... I mean, he's still have one base. He may just push out and take another base. No, here we go. He's just going to be pushing across the map while expanding. Oh, the Mutalisks are going to be rallied in there! And just going to take a lot of fire from that. A little bit of a misrally or just unfortunate positioning. Sindoki doesn't look phased at all. Very serious look on him.
Oh my god, and look, we've got the Lurker train coming.
Oh wow, yeah, you are exactly... This with the tanks. Oh wow, what happened to the Mutalisks though? Getting up to Hive Tech. Alright, okay, here we go. Sindoki's coming in. Can he deal with it? There are 2 siege tanks to deal with this. There is bio. Let's see what Boxer's control can do. There's a lot of lurkers there. Scan does go down. A set of lurkers does take out 1 tank right here, killing off a nice amount of SCVs here, and radiates are going down here. Box is having a little bit of a difficulty holding this off, but at the same time, we do have a drop play happening at the 12. Now, I guess Box is going to move into the what appears to be the main base. Or no, just going to go back, going to be dropping bio right on top of a sunken. Can he stim and kill it? Does he have a medic? And immediately going to start morphing in 2 more sunken, so this drop play might be effective enough if he starts target firing.
Yeah, and I really don't think Sindoki won that exchange at all with those lurkers. He was just absolutely crushed by 2 tanks. He lost about 5 lurkers on that exchange, and maybe took out the gas for Boxer. I mean, yeah, I guess that's pretty important. You know, gas. You know, losing gas for a Terran's pretty important. But damn, 5 lurkers. You've lost a Mutalisk. You're getting your 12 o'clock expansion destroyed right now, and Boxer's just off one and a half base at this point.
It is quite scary. And he's gonna bring in 2 Mutalisks that just get sniped away, and really not gonna accomplish anything. You know, Sindoki is just not happy. KK. Or AK, I don't know what that was. Sindoki is really far behind right now. He's setting up a contain, but he's lost his 3rd, and we'll have to see where Sindoki decides to come from. Boxer's... oh, the Scourge comes in and snipes off the dropship right there.
Yeah, and Boxer looks like the professor. Just looks like he's absolutely not intimidated at all. And I really don't know what Sindoki's game plan is here. He's really just thrown a bunch of units all over the place, and you know, he's really been ineffective with every attack. So he's got some lurkers in his base though, so we'll figure it out, I guess.
I think the general premise of what Sindoki... I mean, we saw Greater Spire Tech, so I'm only speculating here, but of what it appears, Sindoki is trying to contain Terran until the fact that he can get up, like, Guardians, I'm guessing. But, I mean, these bio drops are doing a lot of damage, killing off the 3rd. We have lurkers advancing into the 3rd area of this bunkered down area Boxer. It looks like there will just barely be enough to deal with this. Or maybe not. 1 lurker will remain. Both player, I mean, just barely winning that engagement with 1 lurker, but really was it worth it killing off a bunker with 4 Marines and 2 Goliaths? I say no.
Yeah, and Boxer right now is actually, he needs to get his 2nd base going, his 2nd natural at least getting established. He needs to get done because the Zerg is actually macroing up pretty hard now.
Yeah.
He's really starting to take over one side of the map, and it's gonna eventually, he might just be in a position to steamroll Boxer no matter how much good micro that Boxer can show.
It's gonna be... I think Sindoki's still behind though. If Boxer just decides to A move and defends well while attacking, Boxer might be able just to take this if he hasn't taken too much damage of what we've seen. But you're exactly right now. Sindoki is really starting to power up. I mean, he's expanding a lot, and Boxer has been good, but I mean, at the same time, Sindoki's been so aggressive.
Yeah,
It's hard.
If you compare it to nowadays Terran versus Zerg, the Terran would absolutely not be able to survive at this point. They would absolutely be done. So Boxer just really making effective use of bunker placement and tanks, but in real life, nowadays he would have been absolutely crushed, I think, by a modern Zerg in his strategy.
Yeah. But you also have to remember, though, you could try to compare both modern Brood War and now, or in this, but the maps are very different. The maps are very, very different. Different build orders work completely different.
Sindoki did go from a modern strat, which is the 2-hatch Mutalist build, and then has transitioned into Hydra. Now he's going into Devour, I think.
No, he's getting Guardian. A 2-hatch Muta would probably be the best thing to go into to Greatest Spire Tech generally. And that's what we're gonna have. And this is perfect.
So this is a delayed reaction. He's finally gotten to the Greatest Spire now.
Oh, he's had Greatest Spire for a while, and he just wanted to have the basis to supplement Guardian Tech, and that's what he's doing. He's harassing this natural, taking a lot of fire. Boxer is continuing to irradiate. He has a lot of science vessels. And we'll clean up the Guardians, but we'll lose a good amount of mine time as a result, leaving Boxer off of a one-base economy for about 30 seconds here, continuing to be off a one-base economy, as 2 Guardians are still alive after all of this. And really,
Boxer's in a really bad position right now. I really don't know if he's actually going to be winning this match now. I'm really concerned that he had neglected the fact that the Zerg could actually get up to Guardian Tech.
Yeah, and a missed rally back down to the main base, thinking that he could defend it, but we do have a double drop coming in here. Now, this is what Boxer has really needed to be doing here, because this is one flaw to the build of Sindoki. He's trying to claw his way back in here, but the mid-game has been very rocky for Sindoki. Boxer's advancing. If he can kill off, this base and or the natural of this base, he's going to look in really good shape. There's only 2 Sungans here with 2 medics here.
And I got to wonder what kind of upgrades he has on those Marines, because he's owning up those Sungans right now.
He may have +1. I know he has at least +1. But if we get a nice view on that. Okay, and then 1 Guardian's just flying through the main base right now.
Yeah, it's on a suicide mission right there.
Let's do some scouting. Let's do some scouting with the Guardian, yeah. And all these drones are very exposed. Gonna be able to continuing to rally Guardians just right over the natural of Boxer right here. And
one Ultralist pops out. Is he gonna take out these lowly Marines?
They're on 4-2 upgrades. That should be able to clean this army up. Yeah, he's oh, nice control by Boxer. Trying to micro back.
Yeah, he's actually making...
Wow, look at Boxer go! Look at Boxer go! Oh. Boxer, you are a legend, my friend. I'm surprised that's not one of the highlights, actually, of Boxer.
That was pretty sick. Medic while blocking an Ultralist while just using 1 Marine to freaking own up an Ultralist. Pretty damn sick.
Yeah. Boxer, man, how do you do that?
Intense splitting right there, very intense. And Sindoki actually, so he's gonna re-rally this base up, get it back online, and I don't know. Boxer still, he's gonna have to rebuild his second base.
Yeah, but he reset 1 base at least for minimal cost of like what 300 minerals. Yeah, like 6 Marines and 2 medics. He'll pick this army up and he'll be fine. Nice control by Boxer, and we'll get away from there, realizing that he can't really do much right there. But that drop was very cost effective, very cost effective. But Boxer is not having a late game army right now. But it doesn't matter. Can he continue to drop in and just deal enough damage? What was he up? And Ultra's at 5-2 now. I mean, we'll probably have a mech transition possibly. Oh, and look at this lurker drop happening on that cliff. Oh, that's just terrible. And also, you can do that on the natural as well. Now Boxer is looking a little bit more. I mean, you would agree that he looks a lot more worrisome now at this point.
Yeah. He's got these nosy little lurkers on the high ground, just hot-shotting his bunker. But, you know, Boxer always has a plan for everything. He's actually rallying into his, oh, right into some Hydralisk. Yikes. Oh, but they're going off right now. The Hydralisks are running around like scared chickens. And they're taking out drones. Look at that green ball of nothing just going around, just haunting. It looks like a giant Slimer ghost in his base.
Dude, where are you? I think you're like 20 seconds behind that where I am. Somehow.
Oh yeah, I was actually looking at the wrong video. I'm sorry. Woo. No, I'm sorry. I got it straight.
I was like, wait a minute.
Sorry about that. It was still entertaining though. You have to admit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But Boxer is doing the same thing. Really, what Sindoki's been doing is abusing those cliffs, doing a nice like 16 Marine drop on here, trying to find a sweet spot from that sunken. Is on the high ground. We'll have that high ground advantage. We'll miss, was it 50 or 25% of the time? But that's found the sweet spot on the geyser and can just stim and kill it.
Yeah, this is huge right now. The Zerg is absolutely cannot do anything about it, and if I was Boxer, I'd just leave those Marines there for the rest of the game. I mean, he's not going to be able to, well, he's going to try to do the rally. Oh, but those drones are right in the position.
Oh, no. Bring Scourge there to kill off dropships, but I don't think the dropships are there. They're long gone. Too bad they're going to just strand the Marines out there, but yeah, nice play by Boxer. I'm just, oh, this Scourge could connect. It only allows 3 Marines to get off, but still, that'll be enough to kill off this 6 o'clock. Well played by Boxer. And
yeah, if you look at Sindoki's army though, that is kind of getting a little bit scary. If he can get up his overlords and get it drop, I don't know if he has drop available, but he could strategically place that army and avoid those tanks. That would be huge. Or if he could get a flank around those tanks, it'd be even better. But right now, I mean, he needs to really strategize and just keep him out of the way of those tanks.
Yeah, Sindoki, probably, you know, a drop into the main base would be... Oh, that's sneaky. Do you see what he's doing? He's lifted... I think he just lifted up those irradiated units into the overlords. Does that work?
I have no idea. That was pretty sick.
I think he picked up an over... Wow. Well done by Sindoki right there, if that's the case.
Yeah, and Boxer taking out that one lowly Hydralisk. And he's got his factories in the choke now, so that's an interesting placement. He's really transformed his main base into his natural base now. Really interesting play. Pretty much abandoned his main base, I think, at this point.
And chat did confirm that you can actually pick up irradiated units into an overlord and stop the irradiate from happening. Which is really cool, but Scourge. Okay, so it actually damages units in the dropship or whatever trip. But okay, that's cool. But are Boxer's units still on that high ground? I think they must be.
Yeah, Boxer's army is actually getting quite scary with the amount of tanks and Marines. He's really going just heavy bio play. This is like a regular TVZ that I would be used to.
Yeah.
You know, where you push out.
And you know, this is the point where I really wish I had the replay of this game, like personally, and then just figure out what the hell his hotkeys are. Like, how do you control that mass units? Oh my god, that's so many tanks! They're all sieging up right here. I think there's gonna be a lot of dead ultras. That
is a great time to have Plague. If Sindoki actually had Plague, that would have been huge. But instead, he doesn't have any of his magicians that he needs for spell casting, and right now he's just getting absolutely crushed.
Oh man!
Horrible engagement. He could have used Dark Swarm, Plague, any of that stuff would have been great in that.
Just non-defiler army right there, and just kind of showing why you need defilers, or else tanks will absolutely just destroy you.
Yeah, I mean, Boxer's just like, alright, thanks for giving me the game at that point. Now Boxer's just going to A-move all his tanks and run over Sindoki at this point. I don't see any way he can come back from that. That was huge.
Yeah.
What was Sindoki thinking? He could have totally used, you know, a spellcaster.
Yeah, wow.
Wow, is right. Just absolutely demoralizing for Sindoki.
And now he's going to jam D-Matrix this and just drop here. And like you said, well, just thanks for giving me the game. And he's going to kill off all the drones and just kill off, I guess, overlords or more drones.
And it's like, you know, people make credit to Boxer, but that was just a horribly dumb play by Sindoki. You spend all this time making up a sick army, and then you forget one
key unit.
And like, now look at Sindoki. He looks like he's absolutely going to throw up. And I don't, oh my god, this Ultralist needs to be taken down, and it is.
Yeah, I'll have a radiated in. And SCV's getting in on the action too, but the irradiate kills it off, and bam. And snipes out the hatch too. I mean, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy indeed.
Just a horrible decision by Sindoki. And to be honest with you, he really, he took a lot out of Boxer right there. Like, if he would have had the spellcaster, Boxer was done. That was game over right there.
Yeah, Boxer. I don't really know why Sindoki is so. I mean, there really should be no excuse because I mean he must have a ton of gas. I mean the amount of bases he had was just purely for gas, and now he's just gonna throw a whole army away. I mean that is why there is Dark Storm to balance this game out, or else you have that happen to your army. That is what happens. You have a lot of dead Zerg, and just you're done.
Yeah, and man, it's just like now Sindoki's on tilt, just throwing away units, and I hope he knows that he could have used a spellcaster right there. That's just. I hope his coach says something to him after this, or whoever his training partners are. Just, dude, you had a chance to beat the most famous player at the time, and you just totally, yeah. And I bet you Sindoki thought about that for years after.
It's like, well, it's like great. Maybe we should send him maybe he's still an active player, and we should tweet him.
Yeah, we should tweet him. Yeah, idiot.
Yeah,
there's the Defiler mount. Even the announcers must be just like rolling on the floor laughing right now.
Raffle, 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 cap.
Raffle, raffle, raffle. There's the Defiler mount.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And he's mannering himself and just killing out another base here, where Box is gonna take his fourth. And Box has been off low economy this entire game. I mean, I think he's actually long distance mining now. Boxer has been. I mean, there might have been 1-2 drops that might have been sniped off entirely where they haven't been cost effective, but every single unit by Boxer has been super cost effective this game as well. Boxer has played a pretty good game. But, like you said, it comes down to the fact that why on earth would he just give the game back down to Boxer? Boxer now is going to do what most Terrans do, cut the map in half, and then they're like, yo, dude, we're just going to take, this half of the map, we're going to regain our whole economy, and then just A-move and kill you. Because up to this point, really, Boxer's been off of, 1-2 bases at this time, not really being able to supplement 1,000 factories, 1,000 barracks of what he would like to do. Now with, having that top right-hand quadrant of the map, Just damn, he's just gonna have so much production. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm totally mind blown, Fitz, that Sindoki made that decision. It's just kind of ruined the cast for me at this point. Like, I just can't trust a Zerg that doesn't know all of his abilities. You know, I can't call Sindoki a good enough professional at this point. That was just the biggest. Yeah, I know it's on TV, so +1, but and I know he's on live TV, but you know how much shit he would have gotten from all the Koreans at 2001? Dude, man, tough break without the Defiler. You know, just, you know, I mean, people were probably like patting him on the shoulder, just giving him consolation for like 11 years. Yeah, man, I remember when you had that chance.
Oh my God, yeah.
I remember when I watched that day, man. That was when I became a boxer fan because you lost it.
For any Sindoki fans out there, apparently Soplus is saying that no one used defilers back in 2001. Except we are seeing defilers now. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen TVZ to the point where I mean, Char versus Zerg ends in like 10-15 minutes at most. You don't always see defilers. And that's not because you don't see them because of... I haven't seen them personally yet because of... Yeah, I think defilers were used back in 2001. Yeah. There would be no excuse.
I'm going to go ahead and, you know, say Sindoki just effing forgot, or is effing... You know, just wanting to drive me crazy 11 years later. No, really. So much blue on the map now, too. Jesus.
Yeah, and this is just where Boxer... I mean, Boxer right now, I might not have enough to just straight on kill Sindoki. And, I mean, this game will probably go on for another 5 minutes, where he'll take more bases and... here's a Dark Swarm. Alright, a lot of Lings are coming here to break down these bunkers. But would there be enough? Are there fire bats in here? It doesn't appear so. Irradiating what Boxer can, but the center choke point has been, I guess, has been stalled. Alright, cool. So at this point, we are now... Oh, really? Is that Hydra still alive? And that's the benefit of Dark Swarm. And he did another drop here. Abusing... Oh, that's beautiful. Can attack both bases with a siege line right now. Hydras are trying to get in the action right here, but with no Dark Swarm support, that's just not going to do anything. And this is going to do catastrophic damage to the economy of Sindoki. Like, honestly, I mean...
Sindoki's actually trying to do a counter drop right now to take out these siege tanks with lurkers.
He'll probably get him. Yeah, he'll get him. I don't even think Boxer Micro's going to be good enough to deal with this.
Yeah, and he's rallying in Guardians now.
Yeah, nice, I don't think any kind of
He didn't actually take that many drones out. That was actually...
Yeah, nice defense.
That bad. Oh, but is he going to lose these Guardians? He's got to move them.
Yeah, he's going to lose.
Those are so much money. Or so much gas.
Oh, gas and money. They're like tier 4.5 units.
Yeah, Guardians. Yeah, Guardians are really expensive units. So to lose them just sucks. And Boxer just taking another base. Just absolutely wanting to cut in half of this side of the map. Just disgusting.
Oh, this lone Hydras gets in. That Marine Johnny's chasing after this.
Soplus is saying that these maps were made for Boxer, but if you know, Soplus, he made a horrible... Sindoki made a horrible decision. He had the opportunity to either use Dark Swarm, Plague, or he could have just, you know, gotten drop play for his overlords and totally just flanks Boxer and takes out multiple bases at the same time. His army was giant, you know, so don't give me this bullshit about this is a map tailor-made for Boxer. Like, you know, Sindoki had this game.
And don't forget as well, all these fire bats versus my favorite unit going in there trying to do as much damage as they can. SCVs are being pulled off their line, but no lurkers means that these Hydras are dead. And to talk about more of... Well, actually, we haven't engaged it, so... Okay, nice Dark Storm's going down. But, I mean, everything's just dying before they can get into the Dark Swarm. That's the problem. And no Plague either.
He's using the wrong unit combination under the Dark Swarm. It would have been a lot better with Lurkers, I think, at that point, versus tanks instead of Hydralisks.
Hydras are pretty good against tanks. Generally, it's a unit composition that's used against mech.
Yeah,
Lurkers can work too.
Lurkers
Lurkers can work too. But to talk about, you know, if this was tailor-made for Boxer, Sindoki won this game before. It just fallen through his hands. The reason why he won was because, I mean, one of the many reasons why he would have won was, you know, that drop play with, or the cliff advantage that he used for Guardians to kill off the whole, like, natural expansion of him for a while. You know, that did a lot of damage to the economy of Boxer for a while. And set up every other thing and did lurker drops and stuff like that this game. I mean, cliffs can be utilized for both races in this matchup, so I don't know. But these Lings are gonna be able to get onto the tanks right here. Gonna be able to clean them up, and a nice win for Sindoki. I mean, he needs these things to happen, and I'm not sure if you saw that, but he had a ghost in his army. He has ghost. What is he thinking?
I think he's gonna be thinking nuke.
This is awesome.
Boxer loves ghost play, so this is totally right up his alley. Just absolutely, you know, handling every little force attack by Sindoki. Here he comes with 2 Ultralisks. You know, Boxer will probably just rally SCVs and take out 2 Ultralisks. Boxer.
Start drilling away at the
God mighty. And we have a rally of Hydralisks coming into that natural now. Sindoki's actually getting kind of scary.
Yeah,
Like
Boxer.
he's almost like making a comeback. Boxer didn't take advantage of his big opportunity earlier in the game, it seems like.
Yeah, Boxer's having no difficulty. He has no economy. He's long distance mining at that 3. He's lifted his command center. We have Hydras coming in here. Sindoki might be able to actually do a comeback here. I mean, Boxer really never double expanded when he really needed to. I'm a little surprised by that. I mean, again, he's Boxer and he can do whatever the hell he wants. He has been flamed for his poor macro before. And would this be one of the cases where he loses because of just his macro? I mean, he's had pretty flawless engagements. It's just that he hasn't. His reproduction isn't really that great. It takes him a long time to get back up to his initial army. Despite his he's being very cost effective.
Yeah, well, I don't know, it's just like, I understand what you're saying about macro, but he also never really had like a very good ideal factory placement. He's just had his base all over the map, really. And it's really hard to just concentrate where you're getting units from if, you know, your bases are constantly in choke points being attacked by the Zergs. It's just really had a very congested base the whole game. And I really think he's this whole game been more about the micro than, yeah, and it's a GG, wow.
GG by Boxer. That's an upset. I was wrong about my prediction.
That's why I told you I couldn't predict against Sindoki in the earlier game. So Sindoki is now beating Go Rush and Boxer, and he's looking like the heavy favorite now to take this tournament.
Just somehow Boxer had that, or Sindoki had that, lost it to Boxer, the Boxer lost it. Oh, that was a good TVZ, I would say.
Yeah,
but,
very impressed. Very impressed by Sindoki.
Okay. Alright guys, well that will end this VOD.